Manifesting change in your life is as simple as selecting the reality in which you want to embody. But how do you go about doing that? Well, it's actually a lot more simple than it might sound. And in this episode of Roxy Talks, we're discussing exactly how you select and step into the reality that you want. Stay tuned. What is up, my fellow dreamers and soul searchers? Thank you for joining me here for another episode of Roxy Talks, where we discuss confidence, mindset, manifestation, and more. I'm Roxy Lee. I'm a mindset coach, and I'm here to help you banish your negative thinking and limiting doubts so you can bring love, clarity, and joy into your life. If you would like one-on-one coaching to discuss your specific issues, you can sign up for one-on-one coaching in the description below. Now, just to give you guys a heads up, I am a little sick right now, so if I sound funky, that's why. I apologize, and hopefully we can make it through without too much drama. So selecting and stepping into the reality that we want sounds easy. It actually is easy, but we tend to overcomplicate it. What I find in my Facebook group, Black Moon Society, the link will be in the description below as well, and with my clients and here in the YouTube comments is that people want to know, what technique do you use to do this specific thing? How long to visualize? How do you say your affirmations? Do you write scripting one time and then read it over and over every single day? How does that work? What techniques do we use to manifest? Well, I'm here to tell you that the technique that you use doesn't really matter. It's about the mindset. It's about, can you step into the role? Can you accept that you are changing, that you are becoming a different version of yourself? Can you allow that to happen without offering doubts or fears or limiting beliefs or judgment or taking the train to butt town, which means you affirm what you want, you affirm the reality that you're creating, and then you add but this, da, 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 da. When you take the train to butt town, when you add a comma on the end of your affirmation instead of putting a period, like I am a creative force in my world, period, not I am a creative force in my world, but it doesn't seem like everything manifests, guess what? That's where your manifestation is, okay? So we want to make sure that we're being very mindful of the thoughts that we are actually thinking, the way that we're actually describing our reality, the way that we're actually talking about our lives. Because if you constantly take the train to butt town, if every time you do an affirmation or you take a step forward in the right direction for your new reality and you immediately add a but or a comma on the end of that statement, a qualifier, a justifier, a telling it like it is, just for the sake of being honest, listen, it's not going to get you anywhere. It's going to get you to right where you are right now watching this video trying to figure out how to do it, okay? This butt town, the train to butt town is no good, okay? We want to make sure that we burn that thing down and dig the tracks up, okay? Now, before we get into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. And if you're feeling generous, please like and share. That helps us reach as many people as possible, and everyone deserves to know that they are in complete control of their reality. How do we actually step into a new reality? If it's not about visualizing for this many minutes a day or scripting 55 times, 5 days in a row, or saying this many affirmations or this particular affirmation over and over and over and over again, what is it about? Well, let me tell you, we do include, of course, visualization, affirmations, scripting, past revision, mental diet. All of these things encompass our new way of thinking, our new reality, our new thought patterns, because it takes, like I said, a mental shift to go from I want this thing to happen to this thing is happening. This is my reality. This is what I am. This is what I do. This is the reality that I choose. And the way that I'm saying this right now, I want you to be saying these things like this as well. This has nothing to do, again, with worth. I will link my video above about worthiness and manifestation, but this has more to do with, can you operate the machine? Can you use the way that this world works to your favor? Can you use visualization when you're daydreaming and only daydreaming on what you want? Can you use affirmations all day long and turn them into your new thinking patterns? Can you use scripting to rewrite your story every single day and step into that reality? Can you use past revision to smooth over things in your mind that have caused you damage or thinking patterns that aren't productive for you now in your life? When you can do all these things, then everything in your life just comes together seamlessly and smoothly. I've experienced it myself. But what it took for me was making a complete and total mental shift in my mind, constantly redirecting my thoughts, constantly paying attention to how I was framing what it was I was talking about. Okay, because if you want something to manifest in the way that you want it to manifest, the way that you think about it needs to match the way that you want it to show up. We're playing the match game. That's what this life is about. Life is like the match game. If I want to manifest a red apple, it's all about how long can I think of a red apple in my mind without giving any differing signals until it shows up. And every time I think about an apple, it better be a red apple. And if I think about a green apple, if I think about a yellow apple, if I think about an apple with a bite taken out of it, if I think about an apple core, I'm immediately catching it and redirecting it, and I'm going, no, 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 no. It's a red apple day. It's all red apple until I see that red apple in my world. Now, this is just a simple analogy, but the way that we select realities, the way that we select manifestations, and the way that we want them to go is simply by the way we think about them. You step into a new reality by idealizing it, by conceptualizing it, by visualizing it, by seeing it or thinking of it, imagining it in your mind, and then saying, that's the reality I choose. And then not offering any differing vibes, not offering any resistance, not taking the train to Butt Town, saying, this is the reality I choose, this is the thing that I want, and I'm choosing it by the way that I'm framing it in my mind, the way that I'm viewing it, the way that I feel about it, the judgments I'm making about it, the way I position it in my mind. That's how I choose my reality. I simply think about what I want in the way that I want it to come about, and I only think about it like that until it shows up. And then from that point on, I can decide, do I want more of this? Did this work out the way I want it to? If yes, cool, let's keep affirming, let's keep reaffirming, let's keep driving the ship this direction. And if it shows up and I don't like it, great. I have discerning power in this world and I decide I'm going to recreate it in this moment. And now actually it's like this. Now we're adding slight modifiers. Actually, it's like this. It really works like this, but now I'm able to do it this way. So here's a real world example that I've experienced in my life. I've told this story before, but when I first quit my job to do this full time, to be a mindset coach, I didn't have a backup plan. I didn't have any income. It was like, all right, all or nothing. Here we go. Let's do this. And for the first couple months, it was slow going. I was describing my business as the little engine that could. I was like, I'm getting there. I'm doing it. It's hard work and I'm doing it and I'm putting all this time in, but it's getting there. But oh man, it's taking a minute, but it's happening. I know it's happening, but it's taking a bit. And then I was watching Jake Ducey. I love his channel. I always recommend him. And he said that somebody had been talking to him, asked him, hey, how can I get 1 million subscribers? Or how can I get 1 million views? Something of that nature. And then he said to that person, you shouldn't be asking how you can get 1 million views. What you should be asking is, how can I help 1 million people? So I took that, I loved it, and I said, okay, fine. I want to help 1 million people. How can I help 1 million people? And I asked myself that question about 10 times. I said, how can I help 1 million people? How can I help 1 million people? How can I help 1 million people? And I just tossed it around in my mind a little bit. And then I kind of let it go. I forgot what it was. I went on to something else, as we do, which is the best way to manifesting is just to kind of throw something out there with this subject, then go on to this subject and populate everything in your whole life with these ideas of how you want things to go. And then we're constantly seeing things happen. We're not worried about how long this thing is taking because we're seeing evidence and we know that things are happening. We know that we're doing it all. So about 20 minutes after I asked myself this question, how can I help 1 million people? I was then given an affirmation. In my head, I heard the words, I am helping millions of people. And so from that point forward, my energy changed from the question of, well, how do I do this? To, no, self, I am doing it. I am doing this. Did the numbers reflect that at the moment? Maybe, maybe not, but it doesn't matter because my brain train went on a new track. I now became the version of me that was thinking thoughts that the helping millions of people version of me was thinking. I was now getting affirmations that that version of me had, ideas and thoughts that that version of me had access to, things that I did not have access to when I was questioning. Okay, so me asking, how can I help 1 million people? And then being then fed the affirmation of, I am helping millions of people. That was the first, I guess you could call it bridge of incidents or first sign of my manifestation unfolding. That affirmation was the first manifestation to kind of pop in my reality. So that got me on the train. So now I'm thinking, okay, I'm helping millions of people. And then a couple days later, I was sitting on my couch talking about my business and I just had this light bulb go off and I said, oh my God, have I been describing my business as slow going, as the little engine that could this whole time? Have I been saying that I'm having a hard time growing a business and that it's hard work and that it's going to get there, but it's not really? No, self. My business is booming. I'm helping millions of people. That changed my entire life, okay? From that moment, I made that my reality. You will never catch me again saying that my business is slow going. And guess what? It's not anymore. Guess what? My business is booming. Guess what? I scripted my business is booming. I can't keep up with it. Guess what? Now I can't keep up with it. That's the real truth. I swung the pendulum so far in one direction. Now I have to swing it kind of back towards the middle so I can get an even heal. So now my affirmation about my business is I can keep up with how busy my business is. I can keep up with how busy my business is because I don't want to lose any busyness of it, but I do want to make it more manageable for myself. So I'm hiring a team, I'm adding people, I'm building it out because it's too much for one person at this moment. Why I'm telling you all of this is because it was me deciding that I would no longer entertain a reality where my business was not absolutely thriving for another second. If I'm writing every single letter of my story, as you are as well, I will never breathe another word about the limitation of what I'm going to do. Absolutely not. I ask myself all the time, what does $100,000 a month me think about this? What does $100,000 a month me feel in this moment? And then I allow that to become. And usually what happens is I feel calm. It's more like an ease. Again, it's that strong, still confidence. Not knowing, okay, fine. $100,000 a month me has a lot of the bugs worked out. $100,000 a month me isn't worried about $10,000 a month me problems or whatever, okay? I am skipping ahead. I'm going steps ahead. I'm at 7-Eleven and my little brother is catching up. I'll link that video above so you can understand that reference. But basically, our 3D world is always catching up to our mind, okay? This is always first to the party. This guy up here, he gets to the party early. He's there before the host is even ready to start the party. He's got to stand around and like eat snacks and pet the cats and make small talk while he's waiting for the rest of the party to show up. Does he leave because the party's not there yet? Absolutely not. We want to see keg stands. We want to see shot luges. We're not leaving till the fun goes down, okay? So remember this. The thoughts are always first to the party. Don't leave the party just because the rest of the world hasn't caught up yet, because they're coming, okay? So stay in the mind frame of what you want. Tell that story constantly. Live in that story. I am a self-manifested billionaire. There's nothing you or anybody could ever tell me to make me stop declaring that I am a billionaire, that I have manifested billions of dollars for myself. Not that I'm a self-made billionaire, because even that to me sounds like struggle. It sounds like, oh, I made it. No, I manifested billions of dollars. It's flowing all around me. It's everywhere. Money always comes. It's always around. It just billows around me in huge quantities. So much energy of money and abundance around me. Whatever. I'm stepping into this role constantly. And just because my body is still in this apartment, that does not mean that my mind is not in my Barbie dream house, okay? Because it is. I'm telling you right now, my brain's seeing a different vision than what my physical body might be experiencing. But that doesn't matter, because this is what matters. This is what creates. This is what selects. Okay. And how do we select? By simply thinking of the thing that we want in the way that we want it. We play the match game. Can you lock in on the version of whatever it is that you want long enough for it to show up in your world? Great, then you can have it. That's literally all it takes, okay? We don't take the train to Butttown. We suspend logic and disbelief. We suspend the self-criticism because we're doing it regardless. Whether you like it or not, this is how our world works. So get on board, okay? Deal with it. Do it. It's much easier to go with the grain than against the grain, okay? Think about shuffleboard. That board is all oiled up and greasy, and your little puck thingy is like flies across that board. But when you start putting that sand on it and start shaking it up, adding that little bit of grit to it, it adds tension. It slows down the process. It makes it harder to get your little slidey pucky guy down to the end of the board, okay? So think about your life like shuffleboard. Do we want to go with the grain? Do we want the slimy, greased up version of that board? Or do we want the sandy, rough, gritty version? No. We want the easy, slippery version of that board, okay? So think about that. We're going with the grain. This is how the world works. Deal with it. Get on board, okay? You're at bat. You can swing the bat and aim for the bleachers, or you can throw that bat down and run away crying, okay? It's up to you. But either way, the game is going on. So get with the program, okay? That's my best advice for you, is just deal with it. It doesn't matter what you think about yourself. This is how Earth works. Are you on Earth? Great. Then you can manifest whatever you want simply by locking in on it and staying here. We don't take the train to Butttown, okay? Like I said, I'm a self-manifested billionaire. I'm helping millions of people. My business is booming, but it is happening in such a great way that I can keep up with all the business. Actually, I'm keeping up with it really well, okay? This is how we talk about a reality. You will not get me to say another word about my life that doesn't go along with that story. And that is how I select my reality over and over and over. I do not entertain an idea, an inkling, an iota of a second of a thought that what I want isn't going to work out perfectly or even better than I can even imagine, because why? Why put that idea out into the universe? You're creating all of it, okay? You think that things aren't gonna work out. You worry that they're not going to. You fear people leaving you or cheating on you or finding another person better than you. Guess what? You basically just voted for that outcome. So stop voting for that outcome. Stop even entertaining it. Lock in on what you want. Don't take the train to Butttown and be deliberate, okay? This is what I want. Fine. If I'm doing it all, fine. This is what I want. So do it. I'm the version of me that accepts this. I'm the version of me that's stepping into this reality. I'm helping millions of people. That's it. Period, 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 period. Okay? So I want you to comment down below. Selecting a new reality is easy. Selecting a new reality is easy because it is. All you have to do is declare it, not offer any differing vibes. If you need to distract yourself, put your manifestational power all over your life, everywhere, 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 okay? And lock in on it. Remember, the thoughts are the first one to the party. Don't leave the party before everything starts going down, okay? Stay there. Stay in your new story until it starts showing up. And then if you want to tweak it, if you want to fine tune, beautiful. That's great. That's what you do. Your discerning power is exactly that. You have the power to do this, okay? If you would like some clarity on how to put your mind in the right mind frame to kind of think this way about yourself, download my 30 Days of Alignment Challenge. It is completely free and it helped me completely change my mind and my life, actually. And if you'd like one-on-one coaching so we can give you specific tips so that you can learn how to step into the new reality that you choose, you can sign up for one-on-one coaching in the description below. Here on the Roxy Talks channel, I go live every Monday with Q&A at noon-ish PST and have new videos out every Tuesday through Friday. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you never miss an update. And if you're feeling generous, please like and share. That helps us reach as many people as possible, and everyone deserves to know that they are in complete control of their reality. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you.